And we are live here from the CSB studios with our Friday Sports Skillet live stream. Thanks everybody for tuning in on our YouTube channel. And if you're not live on our YouTube channel, you can find this live stream on our website as well. After the live stream is over, we'll put it on our website and our social media sites. Reminder, you can also check us out on Twitter at Sports Skillet, on our Facebook page, and reminder to check out our website as well, sportsskilletradio.com, for all the latest news, sports information, a lot of things we got going on, like our golf tournament that we have coming up the end of July. So you want to be around for that. We have all the signups for that. You can go to our website, sportsskilletradio.com, click on the link there, and that'll take you over to our golf outing registration. And what's really unique this year about our golf outing is the fact that after the golf outing, you can go swimming in the pool. The pool will be open this year. Normally we have it the beginning of May, but it got postponed because of the nasty weather we've been having here in the New Jersey area. So we got that postponed this year, so it got postponed to the end of July. So you can go over to sportsskilletradio.com, click on the link, sign up for our golf outing. We'd love to see you there. And right now we are going to bring into the conversation our good friend Skywarn Spotter Ken. You can check him out on his social media page. And Ken, how are you doing today?
How we doing, Mr. J? How we doing, everyone?
We are doing great. Now, how can people find you on your social media accounts? I brought that up. I want to get the right accounts out there.
Sure thing. I'm at Ken Moskowitz on Facebook, which it would be in parentheses Crossing Guard Ken. They'll find me there majority of the time. Instagram and Twitter, both at Skywarn Spotter Ken. They could type in Skywarn Spotter Ken on for Instagram and on Twitter as well.
Awesome. We got your graphic up on the screen, so you'll want to check that out, Ken. We're going to make it a little bit better for next week, but we got your graphic up on the screen right now. So let's talk a little bit about our beloved Phillies here. They are in a little bit of a slump coming off losing series to the Milwaukee Brewers, but they got a series. I believe they start with Colorado tonight. What do you got as the forecast, Ken?
Yeah, well, for the weekend, for those that are venturing to Citizens Bank Park, of course, to see our beloved Titans against the Rockies there, for tonight, which is a 7:05 start, they could expect a few clouds as the night progresses a bit, but otherwise no precip in the forecast.
Thank God.
Yeah. Highs are in the upper 70s. And then for tomorrow afternoon's 4:05 afternoon matinee, if you will, there. Partly cloudy. Again, no precip in the forecast. There might be a few scattered showers from what I noticed in the radar, but otherwise nothing to be had in the immediate area, which is, again, also good. Highs are in the mid to upper 70s for that. And then Sunday, I would have to say load up with the sunscreen because it will be sunny. And then as the day progresses, for the 105, as the day progresses, it will get a little cloudy. But otherwise, I know the UV index rays are going to be, up there. So load up with the sunscreen as a protectant. Otherwise, highs are in the mid or in the upper 80s, and may even touch 90 degrees even too, or may just go over that. So just be prepped, everyone.
Absolutely. We don't want anybody getting sunburned. We want everybody to enjoy their time at Citizens Bank Park. Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about the Phillies, Ken. Brutal series against the Milwaukee Brewers. I expected a little bit more out of them. What did you think?
Yeah, I would agree. Hey, look, you're not going to – obviously, we know what the 162-game season is like by now. You're not going to win them all. You're not going to go undefeated. It's just not happening ever. But and yes, you can't win them all. But look, you're playing against a really good, a rather good Milwaukee Brewer team. You got it.
Yeah.
A few good hitters in that lineup.
Ryan Braun just hits his butt off at Citizens Bank Park.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. He's the one guy.
And how?
He's the one guy you never want to see batting in Citizens Bank Park.
But yeah,
I'll tell you.
Yeah. I know I read a little on Bryce Harper, and
yep.
I know, look, give it for what it's worth. Look, it's Bryce Harper's first year. I get it. Mm-hmm. There's going to be that adjustment period, even if it takes all season. And I'm probably one of maybe very rare few people who will say that, because our fans out there, the majority of all the fans out there are going to say, well, no, you should be adjust by now. My opinion, the more I see it, and the more of a common sense theory that I will state. Okay, I think it's going to be an adjustment period for him. It's his first year, first of a 13-year marriage. Okay.
Yep.
I do expect I do expect his offense to start shining sooner or later. Okay.
I think they will.
He hits well at the ballpark. At the bank. So, but he did state he doesn't want to go. For anything at all, he doesn't want to struggle. Doesn't want to go 0 for 4, 2, 3 strikeouts. Every time out. And he knows he's got to get better. That's just the bottom line with Harper. He knows. He's a smart man. He's not a dummy. We all know that.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. I know that he was moved down, or actually up in the order last night to the number 2 spot. He and Gene Segura switched spots in the Phillies lineup. I don't know that it had that much of effect. They, scored a few runs, but didn't have that offensive surge that we've been looking for. People have been calling for Bryce Harper to get benched, take a couple of days off, or a day or two, or at least a game off. Bryce Harper, though, has always said that he's a feel hitter, that he doesn't look at videotape or anything like that. He just goes out there, and it's a feel thing with him. But even so, with the strikeouts and everything like that, maybe a game or two off just to clear his mind a little bit might do wonders for him. What do you think?
Look, I'm not Gabe Kapler. I'm not there, but I will say it most likely will not hurt. I mean, and again, it's his first year. I get it. Okay, you're not gonna go up there, go up to the plate and whack 2 home runs every every game, or or whatever the case may, but it may do some good. I mean, we all know what happened with Jimmy Rollins back in, what was it, 07, or not 07, but 08, I believe it was.
Yep.
Championship year, at the beginning of the championship year. I mean, and it seemed to work wonders. So
Yeah.
I mean, it could do the same. It could be the same way with Bryce. I mean, I don't think it will hurt at all. It would only be a couple of games. You're not going to bench him. You're not benching him
Permanently,
for
no.
a quarter or the half the season.
No. Just to kind of clear his mind a little bit. That may do wonders for him.
Yes.
Are
Absolutely.
you all concerned? Are you at all concerned about the Phillies? They played about a quarter of their season right now, and you look at their team statistics so far, and they're virtually identical to last year's stats, and we all know how last year finished. Are you at all concerned a quarter of the way through the season about where the Phillies may finish up?
Right now, no.
Neither am I.
Right now, no.
Agree with you.
You're not going to, obviously, just like you're not going to go 162-0 in a single season.
Yep.
Or you're going to finish the 162 game season with only 10 losses. It's obviously not conceivable. But you're not, and also, so therefore you're not going to win every series in a row as well. Hence what happened with the Brewers.
Yep.
They will get back on track. There's no two ways about it.
Agree with you there.
I do expect, again, and I know we've touched base on it previous, that as long as they can stay healthy for the most part, be consistent, and their line, the lineups that Gabe puts out there every night is as consistent as anything. Just keep taking 2 of 3, 3 of 4, and and so on down the line. And again, you're not going to win every series. So therefore, I don't expect them really to lose 5 in a row, 6 in a row.
I don't expect that either.
Because if that were the case, then I would say there would have to be a red flag as far as an injury or some type, or injuries, or some type of play, or their lack of or two. But otherwise, right now, I mean, the right now it's parallel, or close to parallel. Yes. Am I worried? No, not right now.
Neither am I. I think they're going to pull out of this. I think their offense will be better. I just think you go through these little slumps throughout the season, and the Phillies have enough talent and veteran leadership on the team that they're not going to end the season or have these long droughts the way that they did last year.
Right.
I think they're going to come out of it. The other interesting thing I wanted to mention when we're talking about the Phillies is they started this interesting 12-game odyssey with different start times every day. So for the next, including today, for like the next 10, 11 days, each game is going to have a different start time. And we all know how athletes like to just come in and have a routine, and anything that kind of disrupts that a little bit, disrupts their sleep, different things like that can affect their play on the field. Do you think this will happen with the Phillies, or do you think they'll just blow it off and get through it okay?
Overall, I would have to say overall, I think they're going to get through it, and they're going to be just fine. They're going to be just fine. I mean, there would have to be, again, just like with the, with the being playing consistent ball, having in their heads, playing consistent ball, doing the little things, making sure that they get, that they do that. It doesn't matter what time. It really, honestly, I does not matter what time the games would start. Or it will be interesting, absolutely. It's
Yep.
of course the first time I've ever heard it myself. Absolutely, that's very true. But yeah. But again, as long as they do the little things that they're supposed to do, and get that W every night for the next 12 games, they'll be fine. They'll be fine.
I think so too. Just want to hit you up. I know you said you had to go, but just want to hit up some quick topics with you before we let you go.
Absolutely.
Brett Brown returning. It was announced this week. We speculated about it, but it was confirmed this week. Brett Brown will be the coach for the Philadelphia 76ers in the 2019-2020 season. Thoughts on Brett Brown returning?
Oh, I absolutely love it. I mean, the presser that he gave the other day, it makes me that much more of a Brett Brown fan.
So am I. Yep.
And he said it best too, Jay. He said, "Look, 6 years ago, when I walked in, this team wasn't going anywhere. It wasn't even a thought of.
It was a total and complete teardown and rebuild."
Right. And of course, as time went along, of course, you got the experience in due time to go along with the coaching and that. I mean, we managed to see them finish for the first time in 33 years with back-to-back 50-plus win seasons. That to me is amazing. I mean, and I think that's a lot in part.
He basically
with Brown and
Yep.
I mean, it's.
And he coached 3 different teams this year when you think about it.
Right.
And towards the end of the regulars, and really how many games did the starting 5 actually play together during the regular season? Very few. They were in the teens. So they didn't have that continuity that you would want heading into the playoffs. And when you hit the playoffs, it's all systems go. I mean, it's pedal to the metal. And with no bench, he got this team to Game 7 in round 2. Against what was a very good Raptors team. I mean, yeah, you can say what you want. Kawhi was the driving force behind the Raptors in the Sixers series, but still, he got them to Game 7. They were a bucket away from going to overtime against the Raptors. And in fact, had they had a better final 3 possessions, you could say that the Sixers would have been moving on because there would have been no Kawhi buzzer beater. So the Sixers essentially beat themselves with the final 3 possessions.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, and you can't put that at Brett Brown's feet. Brett Brown wasn't, the big 5 on the court. Brett Brown wasn't the one holding on to the ball too long and getting a change of possession because the clock ran out. That wasn't
Right.
Brett Brown. Brett Brown could have designed a play. It's the players to execute that play. So
Right.
you really can't put that at the feet of Brett Brown. You really can't.
Not at all. And just to sort of recap a little bit too from what we talked about previously regarding Brett Brown too, or at least what I had mentioned previously, that I mean, he comes from a long line. He comes from the Popovich, what I call the Popovich family down in San Antonio. And they were built on nothing but winning, obviously, as we know. And unlike any of the other teams in the NBA this year, I mean, who was the coach that had everybody basically on the floor, even if it were, with just say with Boban for 2 seconds, 2 seconds on the floor just to have a block or that would be Brett Brown and the Sixers. I mean,
Yep.
and you have to give him a lot of credit. You have to give him a lot of credit. I can't see anybody out there, fans or like otherwise, that in my opinion, can say otherwise.
Yep, I hear you. And I want to talk a little Eagles with you because we had the Jets fired their general manager over there in the AFC East. Now the hot rumor is that Joe Douglas will be a front runner for that position. Do you think the Eagles will lose Joe Douglas? And how much of a loss do you think that'll be for the Eagles?
Well, yeah. See, that's I have a careful and watchful eye on that right now.
So do I.
I am a little afraid. I'm not going to lie to you that yes, we may lose, one of our best in Douglas. Yeah, and if we do, look, I will say this for the the New York Jets, that they will be gaining. Not only will they be gaining one of probably the best, if not the best, men in the business as far persons in the business as far as the not only the scouting but the drafting, more importantly, but also too. Obviously, what we've seen with the Eagles, that would be my prediction for the Jets. I would have to say, look, if they gain Joe Douglas ASAP right after we speak, just say.
Yep.
If they go on to start the season, end the 2019 season, with a losing record, I would have to say for the Jet fans, no need to worry. It'll be only a matter of a year or two. That's it. And look out, because your organization will turn completely around in no time flat. Thanks to someone like a Joe Douglas who as we know, Howie Roseman, working with the best. I can't. What can I say?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And see, that's what, if they do hire Joe Douglas, the fact that he has learned for years at the feet of Howie Roseman, maneuvering the draft, how to do the salary cap. He's all internalized some of this information. He had the draft. He had the drafting down. He has the eye for talent down. It's just the other extra stuff, the extra sauce on there that he's been able to glean from Howie Roseman over these few years. And like I said, maneuvering the draft, the salary cap, things like that, always going out there, always looking for talent, churning that bottom half of the roster, never sitting still. That's all Howie stuff, I think.
Yes.
That Joe Douglas has internalized. Now, I don't think it's a done deal, because if you look at the New York Jets and how many general managers they've burned through over the past few years and how many head coaches they've burned through over the past few years, I get the sense with Adam Gase that he's kind of pulled a Chip Kelly. That he looked at McCagnon and said, I can't work with this guy. It's either got to be me or him that has control over the 53-man roster. And I think he pulled a Chip Kelly to gain power and control over the team, which the owner gave him. Now, if I'm Joe Douglas and I'm talking to the New York Jets, number one is I've got a good thing going with the Philadelphia Eagles. There's going to be other teams that are going to call on me in the future for my services. So if I'm Joe Douglas, I'm laying down a few ground rules. Number one is I want to have that control of the 53-man roster. If I'm making the picks, if I'm doing all this roster stuff, it's going to be my stamp that goes on the 53-man roster and not Gase's. Number two is the salary. I'm going to want a high salary if I'm Joe Douglas. And number two is I'm probably going, in my contract, I'm going to want a longer term contract than Adam Gase. That way I know that I'm here not only equal to Adam Gase, but if I have to fire Adam Gase, I'm going to be here longer than him, that you have confidence in me to build this team, and I'm not listening to Adam. I'm working with Adam Gase, but that Adam Gase knows I'm the be-all, end-all. If not, I'm staying with the Eagles because he has a good thing going.
That's yeah. I mean, why would? I mean, and again, and Joe Douglas is a smart man.
Yep.
Why? Yes, of course. If all the chips were to fall in place for him, if it were to come time to accept the general manager's job here in New York, why would you unless that happens, why would you want to leave, in my opinion, a world-class organization, and that's really a world-class organization in the Philadelphia Eagles?
I agree. I agree with it. Now, last thing I have for you, Ken, we've got a poll up there. As a Philly fan of our teams, and you've been a Philly fan for a while, which do you think is the worst loss? Joe Carter's World Series home run off of Mitch Williams, or Kawhi Leonard's buzzer beater that eliminated the Philadelphia 76ers? Which loss do you think hurt more?
Oh, there's just no, for me, it's no two ways about it. It's got to be, right now, this would have to be, it would have to be the Game 7, the Kawhi Leonard winner, if you want to call it that. I mean, by far, because of just for the lone fact that it's game. Not only was it Game 7, but down to basically the buzzer.
Yep.
And I've never seen a shot literally watching a live sports event on television like that before. I've seen it, yes, probably umpteen amount of times in different movies, if you will. Yep. But never. It's like okay, yeah, bounce and bounce off, and don't get in. And here all of a sudden,
I mean, that was our version of the double doink, I think.
Yeah.
Now we kind of know how Minnesota felt.
That right? Well, yes.
Or Chicago, I mean.
Chicago, yeah. And that's what I was going to say too. For some of those Philly fans out there that sort of and look, I'm guilty as charged too a bit. I sort of poked a little, had a little fun with it, but you know what? Karma will come back.
Yep.
Not necessarily to bite, in the rear, so to speak, but that's what happens. That's what happens. Don't speak too soon, because you don't know what's gonna come about in the near future. And look what happened. I mean, hey, you live and learn. That's what it is. But yes, Game 7 in Toronto.
That hurt me more.
That would be the one that would, as of right now, that hurts more.
Yeah, that hurt me more, because that team was, from beginning to end, that journey with that team with Mitch Williams and John Kruk and Pete Incaviglia and Jim Eisenreich and all the guys on that team, Mickey Morandini and everybody on that team. That was just such a fun season from beginning to end. You had the doubleheader that ended at like 4 something in the morning. I was actually I was
Or
actually
something-
at
Yeah, go ahead. I'm
I
sorry.
was actually at that doubleheader with my dad. I mean, that was just, such a fun season, and just to see it end that way in Toronto, it was just completely heartbreaking to me.
And
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I am wrong, I believe that was against the San Diego. I'd like to go on a limb and say the San Diego Padres too at that time.
The doubleheader, yeah.
Yeah, and I believe they went, and that was on a Friday night.
I'm not
yeah,
100%
I
sure
think
of
that-
the exact
I think
date,
that
but
was a
I think
Friday
it could
night.
have been. Yep.
For them to, and I do remember that was on a Friday night for them to basically get very little sleep, if that, to turn around to play that 1 o'clock matinee on Saturday, which CBS was holding the games at the time. With Sean McDonough and Tim McCarver. And
Yep.
then they took the Sunday matinee as well. So I mean, they ended up winning all four. What turned out that what was all four that weekend that year at the Vet. I'll never forget that too myself.
Yep, that was just tremendous. So, Ken, I know I held you up for a little bit longer than what you wanted to, but once again, can you tell everybody how they can reach out to you?
Absolutely. So on Facebook, it's Ken Moskowitz, and also you can find it in parentheses Crossing Guard Ken, and on Twitter and on Instagram, both those social media sites, Skywarn Spotter Ken.
Awesome. All right, Ken, I'm going to look forward to talking with you again next Friday around this time. I want you to have an awesome weekend, and we'll talk to you here on Sports Skillet live stream again next Friday.
Thank you very much, Jay. I appreciate it. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Thank you, Ken, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Will do.
All right. And, of course, that was Skywarn Spotter Ken. At this time, what we're going to do is take a brief time out, and we will come back, and we'll have This Week in Sports History coming up, and I'll have my preview of Money in the Bank. So stay tuned for that, and we'll be right back after this. Hey, we are back here on the Sports Skillet Radio Show, broadcasting from the CSB studios. Thank you for joining us on our Friday live stream. We do appreciate it. And reminder, you can find us all on our social media pages, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Here on YouTube, just do a search for Sports Skillet. And of course, always tune in to our shows Sunday mornings at 11 on Fox Sports Radio, 920 The Jersey. You can download our app at sportsskilletradio.com so you can listen to our great content on the go. You can also find our live stream there. We're going to have that on our website as well. Any audio clips, we're going to have that on our show, on our website as well. So you want to go to sportsskilletradio.com, and there is everything right at your fingertips. We're also going to have our golf outing coming up in July, so you want to come out and go to that as well. It's going to be an awesome event. We're going to have loads of prizes. You're going to be able to get a free golf club just for showing up and coming out. We're going to hand you a certificate for a free golf club. Prizes galore. You're going to get the opportunity to enter our raffle and golf at Trump National in Bedminster. When can you get an opportunity to do that? And hey, if you just want to come out and enjoy Cherry Valley, relax, and you can do that as well. And after the golfing is over, you can take a dip in the pool for $15. I mean, we've got it all at this golf outing. Swimming, prizes. We're going to have the helicopter ball drop. When do you get to see that? A helicopter is going to fly over the golf course. We're going to dump a whole mess of golf balls out of the helicopter, and you are going to be able to win an amazing prize. And you don't get just one golf ball. You can get multiple golf balls to increase your chance of winning. So it's going to be an awesome day of golfing. It's in late July. Just go to our website, and it has the date there. It's going to be a Monday morning, late July, so you can come out. It's cool in the morning, and as you come off the golf course, we're going to have a buffet lunch all ready for you. So you get the buffet lunch, you get to watch the ball drop, and then if you want to go swimming because you're all hot and sweaty, maybe you have a cold beverage, and then you jump in the pool. I mean, this golf outing has everything you could possibly want, and we make it as cheap as possible, the cheapest we can possibly do for you. So just go to sportsskilletradio.com, click on the link, bam, it's just right there at your fingertips, and you know, it's just going to be an awesome event, late July. We want to see you there. Come on out to the golf outing. So now what we're going to do is a weekly episode that we do where Jeff looks back in time. I don't know if you're having a birthday this week or not, but if you are and you want to know what happened on your birthday, and your birthday is coming up this week, this is a weekly segment that we do. Jeff does it every week, and it is called This Week in Sports History. So here is This Week in Sports History. We're going to find out what's been going on, what happened in the past this week in sports history, as soon as I can get it fired up here. Let's see here. Just doing a little bit of audio issues here. Here we go. Just got to get it fired up. Let's go to Twitch here. Hold on. I tell you, audio stuff, you know. Here we go. Here we go. This week in sports history. And now, of course, that was Twish This Week in Sports History. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Going down memory lane a little bit. And as we sign off this live stream this week, what I'm going to do is give you my predictions for the Money in the Bank card that's coming up this coming Sunday. So you want to tune into that on the WWE Network. As I say, with Sports Skillet, we talk about anything and everything. So if you want to get involved, you can do that. Our phone lines are always open on Sundays, 609-919-9200. That's our phone number in the studio every Sunday morning. We want to hear from you on our social media accounts as well. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Just do a search for Sports Skillet. So we have our Money in the Bank card coming up on Sunday. Money in the Bank matches for the Universal Championship. We have Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles. I am going to say that Seth Rollins retains his title, but I think we see a more aggressive AJ Styles. I think they're starting to turn him just a little bit, maybe make him a little bit more of a tweener. So I think there could be chase going on, a feud building between Rollins and Styles. I think Rollins retains, but we see more of a heel version of AJ Styles in that one. For the WWE Championship, we have Kofi Kingston taking on Kevin Owens. It would be great if Kevin Owens got the title from Kofi Kingston, but I think they want Kofi to have a nice run here. So I think Kofi will retain the championship, but I can see this feud going on after Money in the Bank. So I think Kofi retains, but there could be something a little odd about this match that will continue the feud between those two guys. For the Raw Women's Championship, Becky Lynch defending against Lacey Evans. They've been building up Lacey Evans. They really have. I don't think that Becky Lynch is walking out of Money in the Bank with both belts. I know they like the hashtag Becky 2 belts, but I can see her dropping one of the titles, especially now that they've instituted this wild card situation on Raw and SmackDown. So one of the two matches, Becky Lynch is losing her title. I don't know if they want to put it on Lacey Evans just yet. So maybe Becky Lynch retains there. But again, I can see this feud going on because they've built Lacey Evans up really quick into a major title contender. So I don't know that there's going to be a pinfall or submission here. Something hanky could go on with this match as well to continue the feud. But I think Becky retains her title there. For the SmackDown Women's Championship, again, Becky Lynch is walking out again, facing Charlotte Flair. I can see Charlotte winning the title here. Charlotte's been one of the mainstays, so I think, again, going back to that wild card situation, Becky can appear on both shows if need be. So I can see her dropping the belt to Charlotte Flair here, a heel Charlotte Flair, a nasty Charlotte Flair. I can see that feud kind of building up and going forward again, this time with Becky chasing Charlotte a little bit. So I can see Becky dropping the SmackDown Women's Championship to Charlotte there. Money in the Bank ladder match featuring Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Baron Corbin, Finn Balor, Andrade, Ali, Sami Zayn, and Randy Orton. This one's going to be really interesting. I'd like to see Drew McIntyre come out with the briefcase in this one. They've been kind of building him up as this big, nasty heel. I think he should come away with the briefcase and then be able to challenge champion after this. It would be very interesting to have Drew McIntyre with the briefcase. So I'm kind of pulling for Drew McIntyre in that one. I think he deserves a title run. He's absolutely earned it. For the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, you're going to have Nikki Cross in there, Naomi, Natalya, Dana Brooke, Bayley, Mandy Rose, Ember Moon, and Carmella. This one's going to be interesting as well. They've done the run with Carmella, so I don't think she's going to come away with it. They've given the title to Naomi before. Natalia, I'm kind of lukewarm on that. Dana Brooke, I don't think they're going to give the title for. I don't think. So now you narrowed it down to Bayley, Mandy Rose, and maybe Nikki Cross. I'm really pulling for Nikki Cross. She proved earlier she could be a tremendous heel. I'd love to see somehow Nikki Cross come away with the Money in the Bank briefcase. That way she could feud with a number of the women on the roster. I would really like to see that as well. So I think I'm pulling for Nikki Cross in this one. She would be the best placed person to come away with the briefcase. You've got Roman Reigns versus Elias. I know they've been building up Elias, but I got to figure Roman Reigns is going to come away with the win in that one. You have The Miz versus Shane McMahon in a steel cage match. I'm anxious to see what Shane McMahon, is he going to jump off the top of the steel cage? What stunt is Shane McMahon going to pull off in this one? Because Shane McMahon has something in his arsenal, some crazy thing that he's going to pull off. And The Miz has been just such a great worker. I think they're probably going to go forward with this feud, so something is probably going to happen in this steel cage match. Maybe Shane somehow falls out of the cage or jumps off it to the floor below, does some kind of crazy thing where they're punching each other on the top of the steel cage, and The Miz accidentally knocks him to the floor, and Shane ends up winning, so the feud continues. I don't see the feud ending here. I think it still has some legs to it in the eyes of the WWE. So, unfortunately, I see Shane McMahon somehow, some way, using some chicanery to come away with the win in this one. And then finally, we've got, for the United States Champion, we've got Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio. I'd like to see Samoa Joe come away with this one, retain the title. I don't think they're going to give it to Rey. They may also be doing something with Rey's son in this one, so look out for that. Maybe a heel turn by Rey's son and siding with Samoa Joe, something like that, something unexpected. So I would love to see Rey's son turn against him and side with Samoa Joe. I think that would add some real legs to this feud, would be a really good turn of events. So I'm looking for Samoa Joe to come away with the United States Championship in that one. SmackDown Tag Team Championship, you got Daniel Bryan and Rowan versus the Usos. That's going to be in the kickoff show. I'd like to see Daniel Bryan and Rowan come away with the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. We've seen the Usos before with the championship. This will be a nice turn for Daniel Bryan and Rowan, putting the belt on them, giving the Usos and other tag teams someone to chase again, a heel team to chase. And this is a new thing for Daniel Bryan, being involved in a tag team. So I'm going to look for Daniel Bryan and Rowan to come away with the Tag Team Championship. And for the Cruiserweight Championship, Tony Nese versus Anya Daivari. I would love to see Daivari come away with this. I think he has such a great character, has had such a great character for years now. He deserves a title run. I would love to see them put the belt on Daivari and just have Daivari run with it and show all his talents. He's worked his way up the ranks. He deserves a title run. So I'm going to want to see Daivari come away with the Cruiserweight Championship. We'd like to hear what you think about Money in the Bank as well. So, again, tweet us, hit us up here on Facebook, tweet us at Sports Skillet. Find us on our Facebook page. We're going to post the live stream there. So, again, we want to hear from you. Always on our social media pages. This is our Friday live stream here on the Sports Skillet Radio Show, and we will see you again right here in the CSB studios next week.